Oh, please.
There's no way I'm going to get a full pulse of team out of them.
I'm sorry, what?
It's pointless searching like this in the dark.
Dig them out of their beds and get them here. Do you understand me? Am I not speaking English to you?
Yes, Gov, fine.
Thank you.
DCS Walker. Roisin. How is it?
Couldn't be better. They are begging me to open the roads before I've even got a flash search done. The CCTV is either down or in a blind spot, depending on who you ask. The Collisions Investigation Unit is tied up in Hounslow on a job for the next hour. And the crime scene manager can't take his eyes off my tits. What's this? You off to the opera?
I wish. 4 hours of boring speeches, a plate of rubber chicken. Some of the dullest ACs, DACs, and borough commanders who ever picked up a badge. Why the hell do I go to these things?
Driver died of his injuries sustained at the crash. The paramedic is on her way to the ICU with a punctured lung and severe head trauma. Now, I have one eyewitness who said she saw a black Audi or Merc traveling at 80 alongside the ambulance.
But not the collision?
No, the ambulance was on its way back to the A&E. It had been on an emergency call out at an address 3 miles north of here. I've got Satch on his way there now.
Yeah, have you got an ID on him?
Just the original 999 call. His wife or girlfriend called in, gave his first name as Sebastian. Suffering some kind of heart condition.
Oh, he's not suffering anymore, is he?
No. Oh, he was wired up for vital signs. The readout breaks off at 8:41. It's not every day we get such a precise time of death. Oh, we have 3 cartridge cases, friend there. The wife or girlfriend. Name unknown. She was also in the ambulance at the time.
Okay. So where the hell is she?
Anyway?
Yeah, the address where the ambulance made the pickup. There's no mail, no name on the door, no nothing.
No, I'm afraid we've got nothing in there either, Sergeant. Try land registry.
How soon can we get details on the leaseholder?
Leave it.
Well done. Get her down the station for me. Mike.
Yeah?
We've got a second eyewitness. Says she saw the collision as she drove by from over there.
100 meters away.
Yeah. But she says she's certain that she saw the car driving towards the ambulance. So the ambulance is forced off the road here by the Mercedes. He hits the brakes, stops. Fits us what the collision team gave us.
Yeah, but what the hell was that mystery woman doing while all this was going on?
Oh, Well, I don't know. She, staggers from the wreck before the gunman gets there? Either that or she's out here somewhere.
Yeah, or a gunman appears, puts 3 bullets in a Sebastian, picks up the girlfriend and drives off.
For reasons as yet unknown.
Yeah, for reasons we better figure out fast before she ends up all dead, just like her boyfriend.
Nice. Very nice. Oh. Shit.
What's your problem, mate?
My problem? Hasn't anyone ever told you what wing mirrors are for?
Randall, please come down. This is all getting tedious. The delivery man's he's just backed into a car. Now he's arguing. What looks like an insurance salesman.
You saw what happened, lady. You saw whose fault this was.
First you dump this stuff in the drive and you won't take it inside when I ask you. And now you want my help? No, he is the guilty party. I'll put it in writing whenever you like. Who are you, anyway?
Detective Sergeant David Satchel. You go and sit in your cab with your licence and insurance, yeah? Sorry, Mr. and Mrs. Buller-Tory?
That's correct.
You own the lease on 6D Abbott Square.
What's this about?
An emergency call was placed from that address a few hours ago. An ambulance crew went to the help of a man identified as Sebastian.
God.
You know him?
Sebastian Cole, our daughter Imogen's fiancé.
Well, unfortunately, the ambulance was involved in a collision. We believe your daughter was in the vehicle at the time.
OK, Satch has ID'd the girl. Her name's Imogen Buller-Tory. Our victim's name was Sebastian Cole. They're due to get married in 2 weeks.
Case of no wedding and a funeral.
Yeah. Family has money. A lot of money.
Oh, you don't think this is a kidnap, do you?
No. No, if you're gonna kidnap somebody, you choose your target, you watch them for, 2-3 weeks, get to know their routine.
Yeah, you choose the day, you choose the location.
What you don't do is hope you kill your target by running her off the road.
We get any eyewitnesses? CCTV?
Nothing much.
Jesus.
Sebastian Cole. 1 bullet in the head, 2 in the chest. Close range, powder burn suggests less than a metre.
Any enemies?
Well, none that would carry guns, but he did get his face slapped pretty regularly. I mean, basically, he was famous for being photographed with his famous girlfriend. From the press clippings, it seems that he did an awful lot of nothing much, really. He'd talk his way into a long line of jobs and then lose them within a week. Hooked up with Imogen about a year ago. And he's a gold digger. I mean, look at that smile. I'd say he is bad news and about as easy to read as a children's book.
And you're a good judge?
Feel free to get personal here, Mike.
Yeah, you know the score, Roisin. Stick to the evidence, not whether or not you like his smile. How's it go?
2 broken ribs, cuts, bruises, some signs of hypothermia from last night's frost, but other than that, she's okay.
What do we know about her?
Imogen Buller-Tory, it girl, tabloid fodder. 20,000 Google hits, all with pictures like these on them. Now, apparently she's a model, a film producer, photographer. She's writing a book. You know, makes you wonder how she finds the time.
Shit.
What?
Well, you know what we're dealing with, don't you? We got a tabloid couple, celebrity murder. The press are going to be all over this, screwing up our leads and our witnesses.
I do know how a high-profile investigation works, Mike.
Yeah, we're going to get a rash of editorials about what's a country coming to just because an ambulance, a symbol of hope and humanity, is forced off the road. 1 dead paramedic, 1 hanging by a thread. Attack while trying to save a life, Jesus.
I know, it's tabloid heaven, I get it.
I know, and they don't even know that Sebastian Cole's got a bullet in the back of his head yet. That's all we bloody need.
Identified as Sebastian Cole, is believed to have been travelling in an ambulance whilst off a motorway slip road. Also involved in the incident is Cole's it-girl fiancée, Imogen Buller-Turi. Her mother, millionaire businesswoman Tanya Buller, has made no comment as she arrived home here. Imogen Buller-Turi is reported to be stable and recovering from her injuries.
Is it worth me saying how useful it would have been to have this ID to Sebastian Cole's car yesterday?
No, but you're going to keep saying it. And like I told you, it's a rental. We had nothing to connect it to Cole.
What have we got here? Well, something to keep us going between parties?
Is anyone still thinking this is some sort of road rage thing?
No.
Because 2 hits to the chest and 1 to the head screams contract killing to me.
Satch, forget about the road rage thing. Would the Merc have forced the ambulance off the road if it wasn't sure that Sebastian Cole was in the back?
What, you think they might have seen him being loaded into it?
Hassan, Ali.
Right, what do we got here, Satch?
So far, the only fingerprints we've been able to identify are Sebastian Cole's. Scene of crime found saliva traces and medical debris here. Plus, we found an empty blister pack of pills here for Ripidox. His GP records show that Mr. Cole was recently diagnosed as suffering from paroxysmal supraventricular tachycardia. Oh, it's very rare. Anyway, you can contain it with medication, the what do you call it?
Right, well, glad we cleared that up, eh?
Yeah, well, in the recording of her 999 call, Imogen Buller said she gave him the last 2 meds, but that wasn't enough.
We didn't find any in the car.
No.
I don't know what happened after we left the flat. I remember that. I remember the ambulance. I went out of control. I tried to get help. But I must have blacked out. Came round, I saw lights, and you were there with a man. With this man, he held on to me, and
You told me other than a couple of broken ribs and some bruises that she was fine.
I cannot allow you to push her any further until she's had time to recover. Do you understand?
Sebastian, I want to see Sebastian.
No, Imogen, please stay still. You need to get plenty of rest.
Mrs. Buller, hands off me. I'm actually she's not strong enough for interrogation. I will speak to your senior officer about this.
Alan Lester, your ambulance driver. 11 hours into a 12-hour shift. Pretty healthy, 35-year-old, father of 2. Mr. Cole's system, on the other hand, was a real chemistry set when he died. Mostly legitimate. Traces of the prescribed Veripidox, I assume self-administered to try and arrest the arrhythmia.
And what would happen, in plain English, if he forgot to take his meds?
Well, his heart rate keeps rising. 140, 180, maybe 200 beats a minute. Decreased heart function, possible cardiac arrest. That's why the paramedics gave him more meds to get his heart rate down again.
You said mostly legitimate.
Yes, his blood and urine samples both tested positive for cocaine.
Oh, there's a big surprise.
Bullets in good condition for comparison. Oh, I better get that.
Thanks, Jim. What do we know about Imogen and Sebastian's last movements in the last couple of days?
Well, I said they just come back off holiday. A week on the beach in Cyprus.
Oh, nice.
Followed by a trek through Ecuador to look at some Inca sites in the middle of the rainforest. Yeah, how come you're not taking the girls' statement?
Well, Mike didn't think I was the man for the job.
We left the flat, Sebastian's flat, at about 2 o'clock. He said we should get some lunch at a place by the river.
He never was one to overwork himself.
Mother, please.
I'm sorry, darling. But he was practically living off your allowance.
Can we stick to the events of Wednesday, please? You spent the previous night at Mr. Cole's, yes?
Yes. We were just watching a movie. The night in, nothing special. To us.
To the future. You might want to look at some of this. Our young Sebastian was a bit of a banker.
Brought some suits for Sebastian. It wasn't like that. He was going to pay everything back as soon as you'd signed the contracts on his deal.
What deal was that?
Importing ethnic art to sell in the bullet chain of hotels.
You buy it cheap, you ship it home, you mark it up a few 100%. I thought it would keep him out of trouble. Obviously not.
And then what happened after you bought the suits?
We went to Abbott Square to measure one of the rooms. That was about 8:30.
Did you or Sebastian see anyone? Did he call anyone during that time?
No. It was just a really normal day.
Do you know anyone who would want to kill Sebastian?
No.
Business partners? Ex-lovers?
She hardly knew the man 5 minutes. How could she know any of that?
He was going to be my husband, Mother.
Imogen. Imogen, why do you think Sebastian was killed? Wow. Tanya Bullitt is really pissed off that Sebastian Cole is dipping into her daughter's allowances.
Goes deeper than that, Mike. Do you want the whole fraud squad paper trail analysis speech or just the headlines?
Hey, take a wild guess.
There's a lot of movement between Sebastian and Imogen's accounts. But one transfer stands out. It was made on the 15th of this month from one of Imogen's accounts to a bank in North Cyprus.
Uh-huh. Where they both spent 2 weeks before heading off to Ecuador.
For £240,000.
That's a hell of a lot of travellers' checks.
Which means whatever Sebastian Cole was mixed up in, Imogen must have been a part of.
OK, Roche, let's say you're right about Sebastian Cole being a gold digger. But I think you're wrong about Imogen.
Oh, and that's nothing to do with the fact that you have a daughter the same age, same smile, same vulnerable look in her big brown eyes.
Very cute, Roisin.
Am I wrong, Mike?
Very. Imogen Buller is a witness in a murder investigation. The question is, did she know the man she was about to marry was a drug dealer?
Well, he's a user, yeah, but dealer?
Now, we've had the analysis back from the cocaine you guys found in the car. His prints are all over the bag. The cocaine is pure, very pure. There ain't even a hint of a cutting agent in there. 100% coca. I want to know where he got it, why he had it.
Sales sample?
Yeah, well, I go back to my little schoolboy's atlas, and it intrigues me to see how close Colombia, source of most of the world's cocaine, is to Ecuador. Now, it seems to me that our pretty boy here wanted to use his girlfriend's money to fund a drug deal. A deal that went wrong and led to him getting a bullet in his skull. Yeah. Why will the everlasting
Okay, Clem.
All right, man. Are we still friends?
I don't like it when a deal goes wrong.
Oh, Aaron, believe me, it's not the way I wanted it to go.
These boys, they don't like you. Don't give me reason to let them hurt you. Do what you have to do. Okay?
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Oh, my darling, no, it's okay, sweetheart. Oh, let's just get you into the sitting room. Come on.
So, what's that all about?
These are all the things they bought together for the new flat. Start of a married life she'll never have.
You, don't seem as set against Sebastian as your wife.
Personally, I found him very appealing. He reminded me of an old boyfriend.
Imogen, we now know that your fiancé transferred money from your trust account on the 15th of last month.
Probably. He always looked after the finances. He was always so much better at it than me.
Yeah. Well, he transferred £240,000 to an account in Northern Cyprus. A couple of days before you were both due to arrive there. Were you aware of that?
That must be a mistake.
240,000.
And to an account in his name.
Do you know, I warned her. She wouldn't listen.
The banks in Northern Cyprus are well known for having lax banking regulations.
I'm sorry, I don't really understand.
Well, it means he could move the money on somewhere else without leaving a trace.
Imogen's always had her difficulties. Like all girls. She had problems when her father died. It's a whole sort of eating thing. And she was down to... Well, she was down to nearly 6.5 stone at one point.
Did she ever mention drugs to you? We found a quantity of pure cocaine in Sebastian's car. Now, we believe he's involved in a deal to import a large amount of it into this country.
Jesus, Imogen. How could you be so foolish?
Tell me about your trip to Ecuador.
We stayed at a place called Cabana.
Yeah, near the Colombian border.
Well, about 30 kilometers, yes.
Did Sebastian arrange to meet anyone while you weren't there? Did he take a trip on his own?
No.
Imogen, I know you want to protect him, but I have to ask you again. At any time was Sebastian on his own during that trip?
Only once. He wanted to trek into the jungle and he thought it was too dangerous for me. That was a lie, wasn't it?
Yeah, my guess is his trip to the jungle was a charter flight into Colombia to meet his contact and buy a bulk of cocaine.
Mike, all this new evidence fits with the idea of Sebastian Cole being a drug importer. We have the transfer of funds, we have the wrapper pure in his car.
But?
But he hasn't got a history of dealing, let alone importation.
Yeah, well, that means as an amateur, he's going to need a bona fide introduction to an importer before they'll even take his call. Which means you get the go-between, you get closer to Sebastian's car.
T-sec, Connor. Yeah, hang on. Should you?
Yeah. Put him through. Frank Vernon writes for the Express. Bit of a pain in the arse, but I owe him a favour. Frank, how you been? Oh, no. How can you expect me to comment on something I haven't seen? Frank, I'm going to put you on speakerphone.
It's on some kid's blog and it's had a few thousand hits since it came online.
How did it get there, Frank?
Well, the kid was driving his dad's car without a license. He shot it on his mobile and posted it anonymously. He didn't want to get in the shit by coming to you with it. Just do a search for killer on camera and you'll get to it.
How are we doing?
Nearly there, Mike.
Okay, everybody relax. Dave Satchel has saved the day.
What do you got, Ted?
I've got some juice on Sebastian Cole. I went through everything. Supermarket receipts, first communion photos, and I struck gold. Sebastian used to share a flat with a man named Clem Ross. Good enough friends for Sebastian to be Clem Ross's best man about 3 years ago.
Dear God, Satch, what is the punchline?
Clem Ross is a known middle market cocaine supplier.
The go-between.
Okay, I've got it.
Jeez, when did this come in?
Ian, we've got a registration plate on the Mercedes. Get hold of Tech Sport, see if they can punch it up for me.
Sure. Okay. As soon as we find out if and how this guy Clem Ross is linked to our tale, we talk to Imogen Buller again. See if she knows what kind of people our dearly departed fiancé was buddies with. Nice work, Satch.
Okay, Tim, I'm gonna run that again.
I'm so glad you were here, Clem. It was hell. I didn't know what was happening to me. Sarah was in the back of the ambulance. The sirens, they were screaming.
Do the police know what it was all about?
They ask me a million questions. But I don't think they know anything. I'm so glad you're here.
It's okay. It's okay. I'll take the screens.
So this guy Ross used to work in the city?
Yeah, started off supplying the boys in the office, then gave up stocks and shares to trade coke full-time. Did 5 years back in the 90s for dealing.
Who the hell are these two? Anybody see these two before?
Could be the two we don't have faces for. Couple, mid-20s.
No, the woman's too old.
Get a registered keeper check.
On the vehicle.
Must be Ross's day to help out at the orphanage.
What the hell is she doing?
Maybe they're Jehovah's Witnesses or something.
Now, when I was a kid, all this was warehouses, as far as you could see down there.
Targets 1 and 2 leaving the scene.
Stand by to follow the targets.
Save it for the memoir, Satch.
Satchel.
Target 1's taking a call.
No. Shit.
Target 1 spotted us.
What do we do?
Everyone just stay cool here.
Got a problem.
What?
The address is flagged. It's under surveillance by a drugs team. We've got an obs unit in the building opposite.
Target 2's got the word. She's looking straight down our throats.
What do we do?
Right, get ready to bring them in.
We just make our excuses and leave. Okay?
What's she got in her hand?
Looks like a warrant card. You are kidding me. You're not going to be happy with us about this.
We say our sorries, we screwed up.
His name's McGill, he's a DCI. He's
got a reputation for pissing people off to get the job done.
Really? Well, if he thinks he can walk all over me, he's got another thing coming.
Here he is.
DCI Connor.
DCI McGill.
18 months' work. You put at risk.
Did I not just say I was sorry?
Clem Ross was about to lead us to some big players. Then you walk in like a
I screwed
teenager
up. I
on a
apologise.
school
I'm sorry.
trip.
What is it that you'd like? Is it my badge or something?
No, I'm not sure the Met could hold on to its clear-up rates without officers like you and Bambi on the payroll.
Do you see what happens when you spend too long in the dark breathing your own sweat looking at the world through binoculars?
Well, now that cannot be good for married life, can it?
That's a good point, Satch. Hands up anyone whose wife has not yet kicked them into the
You need to
spare
learn
room.
basic procedure.
Oh, really? Because I'm about
Like
to put you on the floor? Is that basic
if
enough
a
for you?
suspect's
I
address
said to
is
you that
flagged
I was
before you dance all over
apologising.
their
I am
carpets.
sorry.
Enough!
Playtime's over, boys and girls. I think what we need is a nice little chat about creative collaboration. Roisin, Jack, in here. Point one. Any more scenes like that in front of your teams and you both get to stay behind after school? Yes?
Sure.
Point two. There seems to be an overlap between the murder squad and the drugs team. Let's think of this as a good thing and not a problem. Agreed?
Sir.
Point three. I want a full exchange of information from both teams. Agreed? Agreed.
Our information tells us this Colombian producer has an arrangement to import cocaine into the UK via this man. Orhan Hikmet.
Information from what source?
I'm afraid I can't tell you that.
Good start.
And how does Clem Ross fit into this?
Our intelligence tells us Ross is one of Hikmet's distributors.
And is it worth me asking the source of that intelligence?
I can't tell you that either.
This is going to be great fun.
We set up an op for the flat looking for a positive association between Hikmet and Ross. Unfortunately, Sonny and Cher turn up instead and put a note through Clem's door saying, "Tell all your friends to lay low for a while."
No, I don't want to cram beer style or treading a good punchline. But tomorrow's paper might be a pretty good clue he needs to pack up his toothbrush and run.
But Hikmet won't.
Why? Because he's Mr. Tough Guy.
No. Because he's made a commitment to his Colombian suppliers. He can't just pack up and run. If he doesn't do what he's committed to, the Colombians will find him. And they will kill him. Very quickly.
Well, of course I let them in. Do you know a man called Clement Ross?
Yes, of course. He's a friend of Sebastian's. He came to see me just a few hours ago.
So him?
Yes.
What did he want? Did he ask about Sebastian?
Well, of course he did. He asked when the funeral was, and he wanted to know if there was anything he could do to help me.
Are you aware that Clem Ross spent 5 years in prison for supplying cocaine?
What?
Your mother's on the way back now.
Do you know where Clem Ross is now?
I suppose at home? Clem isn't involved in this thing. He couldn't be.
So how come you ended up running a drugs team? You know, instead of a grown-up unit.
You know, if you developed a personality, you might be a bit of a catch.
Oh, because you know when you smile like that, it makes me just want to swoon at your feet. Oh, it's lucky you're not my type.
If I was your type, I'd be in a world of pain.
Two things. Why are we sitting here just watching the world go by? And, is she checking you out or me?
Christine! You okay?
Who's she?
She's my new best friend.
Ross's flat.
Look after yourself.
Well, your source is as cute as that.
Hmm? She used to have a serious habit. Cleaned herself up. Now she helps him whenever she hears anything. The address of a lockup Clem Ross was using less than a week ago.
Right, why don't you relax, get a coffee, let murder team take it from here.
No way. My source. My call. I don't want you bringing Ross in and scaring off our mutual friend Hikmet. Well, what are you waiting for?
You may be aware of a video clip. It's been posted on the internet. It shows the events after the crash of the ambulance.
Have you seen that clip?
I tried not to watch it. But I felt I had to.
Did you recognize the man in the clip, car he was driving?
No.
Did Sebastian ever mention the name Orhan Hikmet?
Not that I
Right,
remember.
that's enough.
Mother, it's okay.
No, it is not okay. I suppose you've seen this.
I have no control over what the press choose to print.
We have a family lawyer, and this is his number.
Thank you.
From now on, contact with any member of this family will be made through him.
Mrs. Buller.
Imogen, you need to rest. Randall, can you take her upstairs to her room? I'll see these gentlemen out.
Mrs. Buller, we're just trying to do our job. If Imogen will just answer a few questions.
The
I'm sure
press
that-
are persecuting my daughter, and you won't leave her alone. She has told you everything she knows. Imogen, will you please go upstairs? I understand that, if you won't leave, that would be trespass. And I can call the police to have you arrested.
Excuse me.
We've got confirmation on the cargo. It's registered to Ross.
So what, we just wait here?
Well, if you're asking, do we find out what's happening before we walk in there, blowing our whistle and waving our warrant card? The answer's yes.
Roisin.
Mike. I'm here at the lockup with the nice boys from drugs. They seem to have it in their head that we should just sit tight and play the waiting game.
Mm-hmm.
I say we get in there.
Yeah, but how's it look?
The lights are on. The sign above the door says KZI Imports. Does it ring any bells?
KZI? Don't think so. Right, go and take a look. Get in there. And tell McGill this is a murder investigation. We take precedence over drugs.
Will do. Thank you.
KZI stamped on the furniture, Mike. You know, at the Buller's place. Mike?
Well?
Go on in.
Don't you know I've had enough of this?
Okay. How did these get here? Yeah, there must be a delivery note.
What?
8 items listed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
What's this got to do with anything?
2 missing, 2 decorative screens. Okay, I need to talk to Imogen.
No, you can't go up there. No! Imogen! Imogen! Imo! Jesus.
Hello?
Imogen!
Hello, Roisin. It's in the furniture. The cocaine is in the furniture.
Yes, okay, Mike. I'm on it.
need a list of Imogen's friends, people she'd go to for help, any place she'd go to for refuge.
Yes, well, what sort of places?
Somewhere you went on holiday, where you used to live. Anything.
I seem to have lost my mobile phone.
Clem, where the hell are you? They know about you. I had to run. I thought they'd arrest me. I'm on my way to the lockup. I didn't know where else to go. Okay, call me.
Roisin, what's the story?
Clem Ross and 3 white males, mid-20s, all found dead about 3 hours ago. Carbon monoxide poisoning. We're thinking fumes from the power generator. Scene's now clear.
Okay.
They've been boiling up the wadding hidden in the screens. It's impregnated with cocaine. You cook it up, dry it out, and it's ready to cut with bicarb of soda, paraffin wax, talcum, take your pick.
Yeah. And here lie our dead amateurs, huh? Mr. Ross. Smart enough to know the scam, but too bloody dumb to know you need ventilation. Jesus Christ. What a waste. Well, you know, Clem Ross went to the Buller household. That's why we reckoned the screens would be here.
Yeah, well, the question is, did Imogen know that? If she did she cooperate with it?
Yeah, well, she did a runner from me when I made the link between Hickmet and her friend Clem.
Well, that tells me she's not so innocent about what Sebastian was up to.
Oh, sounds like a little touch if I told you so in there, Roisin.
Oh, sir.
If I was you, I'd be more worried you had a drugs haul in plain view for 2 days. And you missed it.
Cocky bastard, isn't he? Oh, a little bud tells me that you and he have got some UST going on. Is that correct?
What?
Unresolved sexual tension.
Tell Satch to mind his own business. And you can tell him from me, he wouldn't know sexual tension if it dragged him to the ground by his boxers.
The man we think killed Sebastian Coe is still out there somewhere, and so is his possible next victim.
If you're listening to this, Imogen, just get in touch. Just call me, please.
I need to speak to, her and Hickmet.
Well, we've got an all-star cast for our Monday night drama. It's a new